We request the author of today's book, Mr. P.K. Sharma, to come out to the dais. He really deserves a real good, resounding clap. We also request Margaret, a guest of honor, come on to the dais. Mr. Madhukar Raj. Barabar. Barabar. I'll take the seat there, so no problem. As is customary to start the function, we just thought that we should illuminate this session. So we request all the members on the dais to kindly light the lamp so that we can start the function. Neha, can you just light the lamp? Hello. शर्मा जी आप भी रहना है आप भी रहना है May I request Ms. Neha Vyas and Raisha to give a small bouquet to our guests, along with the plant. Along with the plant. Along with the plant. With the plant. गुलदस्ता यही लगा है गुलदस्ता प्लांट के साथ दे दो नहीं 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 we are not having a separate function. Come this side, right? Come this side. Chalo. Sri Priyadarshi Das Garu, Chief Guest of today's function, Mr. A.K. Goel, Sri Balerao Garu, Sri B.P. Acharya, Sri Madhukar Raj Garu, Margaret, and the author of the day, Mr. P.K. Sharma, distinguished guests, respected dignitaries, friends, lovers of nature, relatives of Mr. P.K. Sharma who have come from near and afar, our publisher of today's book, Ms. Supriya Balerao. A hearty welcome to all of you to have accepted the invitation and come from near and afar. It's indeed my privilege to come here for this function. As I say, today is not merely the launch of a book. It is the celebration of a remarkable journey, a labor of passion, and a gift to generations to come. We gather here to honor the diligent work done by Mr. Sharma, whose dedication, perseverance, and love for the natural world have culminated in this extraordinary work. Writing a book is never easy. It demands patience, it demands discipline and courage. But writing a book drawn from years of experience in the forest requires something even greater: a deep connection with nature, an observant mind, and a heart willing to listen to the silent stories of the wilderness. In fact, when I was reading a draft copy of the book, the experiences were really heartrending and moving. We are all a part of a bureaucracy, but then we realize that forest officers face a very different set of challenge. Forests are more than a collections of trees. They are living libraries filled with lessons about resilience, balance, and coexistence. While many of us admire nature from a distance, Mr. Sharma chose to immerse himself in it. And you would see every page of it reeks of how immersed he was in his writing this particular book. He walked its trails, witnessed its wonders, learned from its challenges, and captured its essence through his words. This book stands as a proof that every experience, every encounter, every moment spent understanding the environment has value. It reminds that the knowledge gained through first-hand experience is amongst the most powerful forms of wisdom by putting a pen to paper. Mr. Sharma has transformed personal memories into a lasting legacy that can inspire countless readers. I take this opportunity to welcome you all for this wonderful function, and having accepted the invitation at such short notice, I would now request Mr. Madhukar Raj, a former PCCF, to say a few words about the author, Mr. P.K. Sharma. So you can use the mic there also. Or you can, if you are comfortable here, anything is fine.
Distinguished guests on the dais, ladies and distinguished guests in the audience also. So today I'm very happy. I have been invited to this function at the launching of the book written by Mr. P.K. Sharma, and it is a very, very happy occasion. I had gone through a few chapters after when he had forwarded a draft copy to me, and he has meticulously brought out various incidents all through his career, right from the time he joined in the state cadre till his retirement. We all know that he belongs to 1980 batch. After completion of the training at Dehradun and Mussoorie, he joined in the state cadre in Adilabad in 1982, and he had not gone on deputation to any other places. All through continuously he was working in Andhra Pradesh cadre, and he retired finally in 2016. When I see his career, I find that almost we have been crossing our paths all through, right from the time of joining the cadre and till the retirement. In fact, I also joined as a probationary in Adilabad. That was in 1978 I had come. And then I was trained there. We were very happy that Mr. A.K. Goyal, he was also a probationer at that time. He had come to Adilabad, and we used to meet. We used to meet very frequently. And subsequently, Mr. P.K. Sharma had also come as a probationer to Adilabad in 1982. After his training in Adilabad, I think he was first posted to Karimnagar East Division, and later on he had gone to Kottagudem Division, and then he worked for some time in Kagasnagar Division. And I had also been moving along the Godavari along with him. I was trained there, then I worked as a DF for Nirmal for some time, and I worked as a project officer APFDC at Kagasnagar. Then when he was in Kottagudem, I was the conservator of Kottagudem there along with him. Then the place where he has worked at Karimnagar East, it was a part of Warangal circle, so I went to Warangal also. So either we were working together or we were crossing each other, so chasing each other, we can say. So I had been seeing his performance also. I find that he's a very committed officer and very soft-spoken and with a high integrity, and very nice to work with. But we all joined the cadre at one time when, our generation before us, there was a lot of regimentation was there, just like Army in Forest Service. I don't think it was there ever in IPS or IAS in the cadre. So a lot of regimentation. Regimentation in the manner that whatever technical issue is decided by the boss. So normally there will not be any discussions. So once something is ordered, then that has to be implemented. So that was the thing. So Mr. Sharma was totally a different type of person. He is a very nice man. He thinks, and then very practically he comes with a suggestion. And many of the bosses do not like that. That is the problem. Because I had worked with him for a long time, so I learned to listen to him first, and then put my ideas and then say what could be done. So that was my policy of working with him. In fact, when he was posted as a first DFO, to his first division in Karimnagar East, it is a beautiful division, and with lot of biodiversity, and then not much of plantations there. So at that time, the AP Forest Development came down for raising of eucalyptus plantations there. So Mr. Sharma happened to be there, and I don't want to name the officers. The conservator of forest was also. The regional manager at Warangal is a very stiff person, and the chief general manager, he was almost like a terror in the department. Even the principal CCF also would not reply to him. So that was the situation. When this proposal of eucalyptus plantations had come there, he had put down his feet and said that this is the forest which cannot be converted into eucalyptus plantations, so this has to be retained like that. So for some time the discussions were going on. He was not yielding to anybody. So ultimately the matter went to the principal CCF, and then he said that yes, what Mr. Sharma says is correct. Actually, the plantations have to be raised in 0.4 density forest, and these plantation forest areas are all almost 7.8, 0.7 or 0.8 density. So these are not the areas to be sacrificed for that. Subsequently, we work in the plantations. We prepare a working plan for 5 years period or 10 years period, then we follow it. So the series which were found for raising of teak plantations were also falling in most of such areas. So discussion had come with his conservator, then he convinced him that these are not the areas to be sacrificed for that. So ultimately he got the deviation from there also. After when I went as a conservator of Forest Warangal, I happened to visit these areas. Very rich in biodiversity and very good wildlife. It is a tiger zone and then beautiful areas. And I totally give credit to Mr. Sharma for preserving all that area. You know, Mahadevpur, I don't know how many people have seen. Mahadevpur, Kaleshwaram, and then Pankana, Palmela, and all those interior areas, the Bhopalpalli. All those areas, you know, they are standing as a virgin forest. This is only because of the effort of Mr. Sharma only. So I fully give credit to him. Then from there, he was transferred as the Kottagudem DFO. He went as a Kottagudem DFO. Incidentally, at that time only, I was posted as Conservator Forest Khammam. Before that, there was some bad incident was there in his division. Some senior police officer, he wanted some timber for construction of a house. So the timber was supplied from the forest by some, doing some hera-pheri, and then it became a big issue. I think most of the people they know, but I don't want to reveal any of the names now. So ultimately, that officer was suspended, senior IFS officer was suspended, deputy conservator, and many of the staff were suspended in the division. At that juncture, Mr. Sharma had joined there. So entire division, lot of agitation was there. People were not willing to work, not go to the forest. If this is the thing for the senior officers, what decisions they had taken, and if this is the result for us, then we will not cooperate. So he has really pursued with the staff and saw to it that everybody falls in line and then the administration goes on. So the entire credit goes to him. And then I want to bring out one more incident. When he was working there, actually, our AP Forest Development Corporation was extracting the old plantations for raising of the new plantations. So a lot of faggot wood will be coming. So faggot wood sales were being done. So while transporting that material, smugglers were transporting good teak logs loaded in the same lorries and taking. So these people they have seized those lorries, and then tremendous pressure was on him for compounding the case instead of confiscating the vehicle. So he stuck to his guns and he said that nothing doing, I will confiscate. He gave a section 44 notice he has given to them. Then I received a call from the Honorable Minister from Hyderabad. Then he said, tomorrow morning, you and Sharma, both of you, please come down to my office. So I told Mr. Sharma, so in the early morning, around 5 o'clock, we started. We went to Hyderabad, we went to straight to Minister's home. A lot of party people were there around him. Then he gave a left and right, a lot of things to us. Then Sharma took a chance, and then in his cool manner, then he started explaining the entire forest law, then section 44 of the section, value of the forest and everything. And that man was getting more and more irritated, and this man was not stopping, and he also raised his voice. Then I was holding his hand below the table, and then whenever he was going out of control, I was just squeezing his hand, just to slow him down. So it went on for some time. In the meantime, somebody brought 2 cups of tea and kept in front of us. The minister guy, he never had a courtesy to say that you please have your tea. The moods were very high. Many of his samchas were also standing all around. So then after all this, he said that no, I will be going to Anna in the evening, then I will see that this is brought to a proper this thing, and you people have to face the music. Anna means the Honorable Chief Minister was at that time, Mr. NTR was there. So I was really worried. So both of us came out, we left the tea there, nobody asked us to take it, and neither we had it. Then we came out, then as a conservator, I am supposed to meet the principal CCF whenever I come. So I went to PCCF's office, Mr. KVS Babu was there. So I just walked into his room and I told him, in the morning we came, both of us, and this is what had happened. And then we got a good banging from the minister. So he said that he will take the matter to the notice of the chief minister, and then we'll have to be ready with the action. He just smiled and then said, "Vadikanta dhairyamu ekkadundi?" He just brushed off. He is a very good man, KVS Babu. I don't know how many of you know him. Mr. KVS Babu. He was ex-officio secretary to the government also in the forest department. He said that simply do forget about it. You please go and continue your work. Nothing will happen to you. So happily we both came down. And at that time, some of the schemes were also like that in the department. Everything reflecting on the forest protection. This weaker section housing program, I think most of the IAS officers who are working in the districts at that time, you must be knowing. So something like a semi-permanent housing scheme was there. And further, the government was sanctioning them 4,000 rupees. And then out of which the timber component was 1,000 rupees. So everybody was breaking their head what to do. But always he is the one person who takes and leads this thing. Then he started it, went and enumerated the timber. The timber component itself was coming to 40 to 50,000 rupees. They were all using beautiful Bezasal timber or teak timber. So somehow he could not digest it. He made a report to my office. We take up with the government. Then a lot of discussion was there with the collector and with the other DFOs also. Then it was decided that, okay, you impose the compounding fee, and then the POITDS, through some scheme, they will pay the money. But that's not possible in a government system. So ultimately, they had to discontinue that scheme. So that all speaks, how sincerely he takes into his heart. And then subsequently, he worked in different places. Then he was there as a conservator vigilance also for about 3 years. And then that's also a place, Mr. B.S.S. Reddy has also worked there, I had worked there. So when I went there as ECF vigilance, for a short period, he was there. And it is really so good to see his note files. I do not know how many of you people know his handwriting. Beautiful, just like Mutyalu antaru chudandi, just like a girl's handwriting, Yeah, just like a pearls. Very beautiful handwriting. And then not like many people who just put an initial and throw the note file at the boss. So in detail, he'll discuss about the case, and then you need not do anything. You can just see his suggestion and then dispose of the case. So that is the nature of Mr. P.K. Sharma. And then subsequently, he had worked for 6 years as the CC of IT, additional PCC of IT. Its contribution was very great. And in the fields of there in the remote sensing, JAS, FMIS, and state forest reports were prepared during his time, starting right from 2011. I think till he held the charge of that post, he was issuing these reports, and they got very good acclaim from other states as well as the state government also. So that was a wonderful work done by him. I asked him one time, I used to see his articles in Vanapremi, that English magazine it used to come, and then in English he used to write these articles, beautiful articles. So I asked him, are you maintaining some diary? How do you remember the time and the date and the dates of person? No, I don't remember a person after a month after I meet him. So he said that yes, he writes a diary, so that is a good habit he had. So he must have maintained a very good diary. And after compiling all this, he kept them in a good sequence, and he brought out this book, what is being released today. Coming to writing of these books, of course, very few officers, they take it up. In our cadre also, another officer, Mr. J.V. Sharma, he wrote a book that is Whispers from the Canopy, one book he has written. But that was all a compilation of various different articles dealing with a slightly different subjects. There will not be any continuity. So this book I found was right from the date he joined as a probationer, then who was his watcher, who was his attender, what are their lives. Then it is beautiful story manner it was proceeding. So, for anybody who reads, it looks like a beautiful novel you are going through. But in this aspect, I would like to bring another person also into light. My batchmate, 1975 batch, one Vijay Ketan Patnaik in Orissa. He was a literary person. He used to write many small articles, small stories in the magazines. And then he used to write poetry also. So while being in the service, so he started writing these forestry articles. They were appearing in Odia newspaper in Orissa. Every Sunday that article used to come. And beautiful incidents he was mentioning. So ultimately he became very, very popular in Orissa state. People used to look forward for these articles to come in the paper and to go through them. Then he compiled those articles and then he made a book. That book name is Aranya Yatri. In Odia language, he wrote that book. And then that got the award of Orissa State Government's Sahitya Academy Award he won. So I always think such a beautiful book he has written, that too in one premi, mostly read by the same forest officers. We always think that what is there? This is the normal life in the forestry. So had he done the same thing, if it had come in some vernacular paper and that too in Telugu language, or if he had gone a little step ahead and then put it in some Rajasthani in his own state, I think probably he would have also got a good award from the government. So I always wish that he will continue the habit of writing. These are the small book which he has brought out that will not fit in his entire career. So many more stories will be there. So I wish that he will continue to write and enlighten all of us and then give more, exposure to the forestry in India. Thank you.
शर्मा जी जो है शाहपुर गांव से आते हैं राजस्थान. अभी जो आप बताए हैं सर आपने, यू आर गिवन अ कंप्लीट एलोक्वेंट डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ हिम, बट ही कम्स फ्रॉम अ वेरी हम्बल बिगिनिंग विद अ वेरी लार्ज फैमिली. ही हैज नॉट चेंज्ड. इवन नाउ ही इज द सेम with humility, but as stubborn as a rod. ये जो है हमारे मेलोडी मेकर ग्रुप में भी रहते हैं and he is one of the core member. He takes the song. Once you are given the song, thou shalt not change the song. So that is Sharma ji. So we can imagine how he was in there. Then the one thing that struck to me was what Mr. Madhukar Raj said was about the IT part. You know, many of us in the government, after we retire, perhaps we really don't bother about what is happening in the world. I was very surprised that he told me that he designed the cover of this book using AI. That was really shocking. So he really, that's where he gets himself immersed into his work. And the cover of this book, which will shortly be released, was totally designed by him. And then I asked him, how did he manage? मैंने कुछ नहीं, वो ChatGPT बोला, make a forest and a person walking in the forest, make the sun not so bright, make it so a little dull, see that it is not dominating the scene. ऐसे पूरे मैंने बता दिया और वो ChatGPT ने कर दिया, खत्म हो गई बात. And उससे जो है बहुत अच्छा है. I don't have to ask an artist. मैं कहाँ जाके ढूंढूंगा, मेरी तो कमर तो ठीक नहीं चल रही है. So you know that sort of a thing. So Sharma ji. So now with these few words, I'll request Neha and Raisha to come distribute the books to the guests to release the book, to unveil the book. इधर से देते जाइए, 3-4 लीजिए, इधर Raisha you give. इधर से देते जाइए, सामने से दो. शर्मा जी को भी दी. इधर दीजिए. सबको मिल गया?
आप भी आइए.
यस यस.
आप लीजिए. Open the window and take the first break out. That's it.
Don't make it too.
Open.
The forests are all designed by the AI tools. Really nice. Now I'd request Mr. Balarao to give a couple of reviewers' comments. He's been instrumental, I think, in reviewing this book, guiding this book, along with Madam Supriya Balarao.
Thank you, Raymond. Mr. Sharma, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, it's an honor for me to have been invited as a guest, as a chief guest here on the dais on this release function. To speak about the book, I can only say one thing. Mr. Sharma has shown meticulous details. As Mr. Madhukaraj said, he has put down the dates, the file numbers, and everything right from the time when he has started his career. And now I know today that I was always asking my wife, I said, how does he remember all this? So now I think I know that he keeps a diary. But keeping diaries are very dangerous. Let me tell you. Because if it gets into the hands of people, you never know what consequences will follow. Right? Now, another thing which impressed me about the book was, he's extremely frank, hard-hitting, and at times he has not spared anybody. Right? Including ministers, the chief secretary, his own secretaries and others, he has not seen. I was telling him, I said, look, why don't you tone down things a little? Okay? Because, somebody reads it and will take offense. But he said, no, I am trying to bring out the truth. And that is what he has brought out in the book. In fact, those of us who are in service, when you try to correlate the persons and the designations who were there, we can know who those names are. So I will not venture to make any speculations on that. I'll leave it to your imagination. The other thing which I'm very impressed by is the work he has done in controlling, the smuggling of wood, poaching of wildlife, right? And also the work he tried to do in reorganizing the divisions and circles in the forest department. He, of course, had to hit his head against the wall on many occasions, but that's the man. He was persistent and he's very clearly brought it out in this book, his unhappiness about how things were. Another thing which I am very impressed by is the detailed work he has, I think, done on bringing out those publications of the Forest Department on the state of the forests in AP, right? And the methodology that has been adopted in determining what should be, how to determine the forest wealth, the state of the forests, etc. And that, I think, is a good learning experience for the younger forest officers, right? And in fact, even to the other states. I don't know whether other states have brought out such books on the state of the Indian forests, but I think his book will be a pathfinder on that occasion. Coming to my personal experiences, I have always had tremendous love for forests. And I, in fact, had options of going to forest service, but there was no way I could have joined in because of my weight. I wouldn't have been able to walk that distance you do in how many kilometers in how much time? Yeah, it will take me 4 days. So that was one point. But one good thing that has happened in the forest department is today we are talking about conservation. Designations have become conservators of forests. Earlier, they were just called as forest officers or whatever in the hierarchy. And in the good old days, there were always 3 people who were the most important in a district: the collector, the SP, and the DFO. They always went together. Right? Unfortunately, over the years, somehow for various reasons, the forest department has got neglected. There is no infrastructure in the districts. In fact, DFOs don't even get houses to stay, leave alone getting houses here in Hyderabad. So that is a big problem. Secondly, I pity the forest guards who are picked up, who have to walk on huge jurisdictions, right, with no weapons or anything for their protection. Right? It's a huge task. I'm also in the book, he has written an interesting stories about his encounter with Naxalites. It's very interesting. And, when you said he has designed the book, most of the illustrations, or all of them, have been done by him in the on the book. The Naxalites have been shown as very evil-looking fellows. Many of them were not. I mean, but nevertheless, it must have been quite a chilling experience to encounter them. Particularly, you never know how they would react. Right? But coming to my encounter in the forest, during my training, I had gone to this Maradmalli area, Addatigala and all that area. Yeah, and those days, of course, there was no Naxalite problem. So we used to venture out into the forest. For the first time, I saw a wild panther, sitting on a culvert in the jungle. And then a herd of wild buffaloes came. And the jeep driver stopped me and he said, "Sir, let us, we will not go further, because if any of them see you, they will attack you and overturn your jeep." So that was one experience. I have also been to some sanctuaries like Pench, right, Bandhavgarh, and then down south. But one thing which I was very disturbed with, the way tourists have been going to these sanctuaries. At Pench we went, there were 50 odd jeeps looking for a tiger. It was disgusting. And those jeeps were, diesel jeeps, so they would make a sound. And the funny thing was, the jeep driver would ask the guard, "Call aaya kya?" Now, call means some animal would have noticed a tiger or something, and they will make a call, alert the other animals. So, moment call aaya kya, they would all jeeps would go running there. Now, I don't know how this can be curtailed. I know that people want to see wildlife, but we must put a stop to this kind of wild, influx of tourists in these sanctuaries. And particularly, I don't know why they can't give them electrical vehicles or even petrol vehicles. Why diesel vehicles of all things? So, this is something which is quite interesting. Of course, during my training, I remember we went to Kaziranga. and we went and sat in a sort of a bunker, you know, down there at night, and we saw these rhinos going by. Now they didn't know we were sitting there, because we saw no tiger there, and the elephant ride was also interesting. But sanctuaries do have a lot of, fascination for me. I don't know what kind of development sanctuaries development have taken place here in Andhra Pradesh. I still want to go to, Amrabad, and some of those places. No, which is in that Karnool area. Amrabad. Yeah. I don't know what kind of facilities are there to go for a, a safari kind of a thing. But they have something there. Oh, that's great. Yeah. But let us try to restrict the influx of tourists, right? And particularly not disturb the wild animals. Of course, near Jaipur, we went to a leopard sanctuary very close to the city of Jaipur. Yeah, so we saw a couple of leopards there. But here again, it was very interesting. Houses have come right at the fringe of the sanctuary. And people there say that these leopards climb over on the wall, they come and lift and take away their dogs. So, it's this, I don't know. I mean, that is another aspect of the forest that we look for. Anyway, I've taken a lot of your time, but I do wish that Mr. Sharma would bring out more of his experiences. And also, I found that in his book he has not covered his experiences in the Dehradun Forest Research Institute. Right? Maybe, but then chronologically it will, yeah. Yeah. But anyway, I think he should, yeah? There at that time, yes. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, I wish Mr. Sharma all the very best of health, and I am told that he loves to sing and organize programs. We should come one of those days, right? And we'll come there. Okay, great. Yeah. No, if you ask me to sing, dangerous. When I was a kid, I used to try to sing in the bathroom, particularly in a Thanda Pani, So I used to start singing a song. Our neighbors came running. They said, yeah, is somebody being throttled? Isko koi maar to nahi raha isko. So I stopped that also. Okay, anyway, so all the best, Mr. Sharma, and have an enjoyable stay in Prashasan Nagar. I wish the family all success. I find that many of his friends have come, and I'm sure they're very proud of him. Thank you very much.
Now I'll request Mr. B.P. Acharya to say a few things about this book. I know that Mr. B.P. Acharya has also been guiding a lot of things in this book. He wanted to put a lot of cartoons. And then Mr. Sharma said, AI में मेरे को cartoon अच्छा लग रहा था. So, yes.
No, that is not the true story. My association with book, in fact, my association with Mr. Sharma goes back to my first posting as Sub-Collector Bhadrachalam. He was DFO Kothagudam. My wife was Sub-Collector Kothagudam. That is in 1986, 85, 86. In between, we had off and on met. And as things would pan out, after retirement, I had occasion to work with him. in the MCR HRD, last 3 years perhaps as the advisor FC. I was forewarned that he's a very tough person, and I did some due diligence. I don't do for the companies, but for officers I do. So I did some due diligence about him. The officer said he's very stubborn, very this thing, but I was not scared. I wanted somebody badly to help me to interact with the officer trainees, as they're called now, OTs. We didn't have anyone in the institute at that time. This function is very unique in many ways. One, such kind of memoirs by an IFS officer is perhaps unique, very rare. I was trying to search on the Google, I didn't find any. IFS is one of the oldest services in India. The Imperial Forest Service was created in 1864 by the British. The German gentleman was the one given to start it. All these years, no one had ventured to write the memoirs like this. There are many by IAS officers. As one of our colleagues calls it, these are tiger hunting stories. Mr. Pradeep Chandra calls it tiger hunting stories. We tell how great things we did and how we achieved great things we achieved. But such kind of candid memoir is very, very rare. I have had occasion to go through the book when he shared I said, you just send me some chapters which will lend itself to cartoons. So he sent me some parts. I tried doing this thing. Then I myself found that AI is more accurate. Not that he prodded me. I did it and I found AI better than me. Then I said, I will take AI and modify my cartoons. The initial AI, you have to communicate in a very candid way. You have to tell exactly what you want. Otherwise, like there's a cartoon on his arriving at Adilabad. He asked the rickshaw pullers in Shuddh Telugu, Atavi Shaka Karyalayam Tiskoni Vellandi. The fellow looks askance at him, kahan se aa gaya aadmi? Janglat office jana aapko? Adilabad mein. Janglat office jana aapko? So leke gaya. So I wanted his photo as a probationer to do the cartoon. That's how we started getting into the AI business. Then there's the officer, with people talking. I asked, who is this officer? Can I know how he knows, how he looks? Bald man, fat man. So that's how together we tried to handle AI. And he excelled by doing the cover himself. I would just read out a couple of sentences from the blurb of the book, which sums up the book. Spanning more than 3 decades across some of the country's most challenging forest landscapes, his journey reflects, mark these words, courage without spectacle, courage without spectacle, reform without rhetoric, and leadership grounded in unwavering integrity. These are the three. This is the line which sums up his career. This is Sharma ji. If you have to have one sentence about him, this is the sentence. These days, officers are given to less work and more rhetorics, more publicity than work, but he is different. I was trying to use it for the Amazon blurb. I am also a freshly minted author like him. So I had gone through the process of going to the Amazon, selling my book. So I was trying to guide him how to put it. Luckily, the book is now on Amazon. His book is already on Amazon. He will share the link. So, yeah, listing ho gaya is available. Anyone can buy. So I struggled for 6 months to put my book on Amazon. So I didn't want him to go through the travails of a new author. So that's how it is. This book is truly unique, and I wish and hope and pray every new entrant to IFS reads this. While try to persuade Labasna, the institute, Dehradun Institute, everyone should see that the entrants read this. It covers the whole gamut of experiences that will stand him or her in good stead. Everyone in Dhulapalli Academy should read this. Everyone in FCRI should read this. This book is unique in so many ways. So I wish it all commercial success and success in readership. It should reach the audience it is meant to be. Of course, the friends like us are also meant to be addressed, but it should go to the younger generations. So I wish Sharma ji all the very best. And my thanks to the publisher who very meticulously brought it out, Supriya ji. So I hope and pray this book goes miles ahead. And he comes out with a sequel to this, covering his post-retirement. He used to sing for the probationers during our dinners. He used to get ghazal singers from Rajasthan. That's how we enjoyed our stint in MCR HRD. Thank you very much, Sharma ji, for the opportunity.
बुक तो हो गया है, लिस्टिंग हो गया है अमेजोन पे, लेकिन 459 पे बिक रहा है. आज का स्पेशल ऑफर है, 400 रुपीस पे मिल रहा है बुक. May I now request Dr. Margaret Francis? Mr. Sharma was very keen that she should come. She was a lecturer in St. Francis College and retired from there to say a few words about this book. You can use this.
Yeah, used to put you guys. After listening to this versatile talks by experienced bureaucrats here, I don't know where I stand. But nevertheless, the book that Sharma sir has written has given me the strength and courage to share my thoughts with you. A beautiful quote by John Munir says, "The clearest path to the universe is through the deepest forest." Respected author Sri Parish Sharma ji, Chief guest for the occasion Sri Priyadas Das ji, distinguished guests on the days, esteemed members of the audience, ladies and gentlemen, and not to forget our publisher, Ms. Supriya. A very warm good evening to all of you. It is indeed a privilege and honor to be present at the launch of Footsteps in the Forest, a remarkable literary contribution by Parish Sharma ji, a distinguished retired Indian Forest Service officer whose life has been intimately intertwined with nature, wildlife, and forests of our country. Books are not merely collection of words. They are repositories of experiences, wisdom, memories, and reflections. Some book inform us, some book entertain us, and a few have the rare ability to transport us into the worlds we may never personally experience, as me. Footstep in the Forest belongs to this special category. As I journeyed through its pages while reviewing the book, I found myself walking alongside the author through the dense forest, listening to the whispers of ancient trees, observing the rhythm of wildlife, and experiencing the profound relationship between humanity and nature. The book is not merely a narration of events, it is a heartfelt chronicle of a lifetime devoted to understanding and protecting the natural world. What makes this work particularly compelling is the authenticity with which it is written. Every page reflects not only the professional expertise of an accomplished forest officer, but also the sensitivity of a keen observer, a storyteller, and above all, a lover of nature. The author's experience have been transformed into narratives that educate, inspire, and provoke reflections. In an era marked by rapid urbanization, environmental degradation, and increasing disconnect from nature, books such as this reminds us of an essential truth. Forests are not merely geographical landscape. They are living ecosystems that sustain life itself. They are a natural heritage and a collective responsibility. The title, Footsteps in the Forest, is itself deeply symbolic. Footstep represents journeys, experiences, and legacies. The footprints we leave behind often tell stories more powerful than words. Through this book, Sri Parish Sharma ji has left footprints that future generations can follow. Footprints that lead towards environmental awareness, ecological responsibility, and a deeper appreciation of the wonders of nature. I am particularly impressed by the manner in which the author bridges science and storytelling. Facts and observations are presented in clarity, yet they are woven into narratives that touch the heart. This balance makes the book accessible not only to the environmentalist and forestry professionals, but also to students, researchers, nature enthusiasts, and general readers. Just now, Sri Acharya Garu has brought out this point very clearly. As an academic and social development professional, I firmly believe that literature has the power to shape attitudes and inspire action. A book such as this can encourage young minds to look beyond concrete landscape and reconnect with natural world. It can inspire future conservationists, policymakers, and responsible citizens. Today, as we celebrate the launch of this book, we are also celebrating a lifetime of service rendered by Sri Paresh Sharma ji to the forest and wildlife of our nation. Retirement may conclude an official career, but it certainly does not end one's contribution to society. Through this publication, the author continues to educate, inspire, and leave an enduring legacy. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to Paresh Sharma ji for this wonderful achievement. I also compliment all those who have contributed to bringing this work to readers. May this book reach a wide audience and kindle a greater love and respect for nature in every heart that reads it. Let me conclude with the words of the renowned environmentalist Baba Amte. Nature is not our inheritance from our ancestors. It is our loan from future generation. May footsteps in the forest inspire us all to honor that responsibility. Congratulations once again, sir. I wish this book immense success and many editions to come in the near future. Thank you and God bless you.
Before I request Mr. Sharma to speak, I'll request our chief guest, Mr. Priyadarshi Das. Sir, you may like to speak from there itself. You would like to come here, sir? Most welcome.
Distinguished invitees on the dais, distinguished guests, and who are my friends, most of them are my friends, and other people who have come from outside. First of all, I express my immense gratitude to Mr. Sharma to have thought of me, not very thoughtfully, but just thought of me as the chief guest. because I was a bit closely associated with the writing. I'm not writing probably before publication. He gave me the entire manuscript. I went through it and made some suggestions. I find that he has very graciously has accepted most of my suggestions. And of course, the name also, one day, while going in the morning walk, being a student of literature, the original name was Whispers from the Forest. So I said, I being a student of literature, let me think of something very alliterative. That means words starting with the same letter. So he said, forest means I thought of. Then I remembered a book which I read during the Corona time. So there were footprints there. It was drawn by a Turkish artist. So their publisher had copied it, and footprints were there. Then I suggested footprints in the forest because you are a senior officer who has retired, and you are you are like a lighthouse to the future generation. So footprints will be most appropriate, and very graciously that was also accepted by him. So when I read the book, I found that he must be very tough-minded, may not accept my suggestions so easily. When I rejected the suggestion of ministers and all that orders, so this also will be outright rejected. But he didn't do that. He very gracefully accepted that. Very. So then one more thing, some interesting things. Everybody has spoken about the other contents I have picked up. But before that, I must say one or two things. Writing an autobiography and writing a biography, they are two different things. Biography doesn't need much of courage. Yes, of course, unless you are somebody who are not in a very powerful section of the society, you write about somebody who is very powerful, write something disparaging about him, then you may be roughed off, you may be eliminated, all those fears are there. But otherwise, it doesn't need that much of courage in the sense that you have to just do some research on his personal life, on his intellectual life, and everything, and collate them and write the biography. But autobiography, somebody said it needs a lot of courage on the part of the author, because he has to be truthful first. So he has emphatically said, no autobiography is fully truthful. He doesn't write the entire truth. He writes something. Like Mahatma Gandhi has written about my experiments with truth. But he has become so truthful that at times it becomes very repulsive. I am sorry to say that. And Swami Yoganand, autobiography of Yogi, one of the most well-read autobiographies, well-written autobiographies. So there also, we find that he has been very frank and very fearless in writing those things. But then most of the autobiographies are not very truthful. In this connection, I would mention about Mr. Roald Dahl, who was a very famous short story writer, who was very beautiful short stories with abrupt endings, unexpected endings. So he has written autobiography in 2 volumes, Boy and Going Solo. Both are extremely interesting reading, extremely interesting. I was so impressed that here is a thing that one must read. But later on, I read his biography also. There the biographer has written that when he was doing research, he talked to Mr. Dahl several times. He said, sir, whatever you are telling today, they are quite different in what you have written. He said, look, I am a fiction writer. So sometimes I don't remember where fact ends and where fiction starts, and where fiction ends and where fact starts. So you enjoy this as a book, but don't search for truth in this. It will be like a needle in a haystack. So to be truthful and tell the entire truth, then without being colored by your past feelings or present sentiments, all these things is a very, very difficult task. In that way, Mr. Sharma's autobiography passes the test. Definitely, he has been very truthful. He has given a very good picture about himself, in the sense, not good picture means not about his goodness, about good things, what he felt and how he talked and all those things. So to start with, he has started with Rajasthan. So Rajasthan and Forest Service, in this connection, I am reminded of my old days in Mussoorie when I was deputy director there. 85 batch, I was the course director. So somebody asked the tutorial class, sir, what is an oxymoron? I said, because I'm a student of literature, you asked me this question. Oxymoron is two words with different meanings, opposite meanings. They're put together. Two persons, like a quarreling couple, they stay together. So two words join together and they form a single word, that is oxymoron. Sir, can you give an example? I first said about many people may take offense because two things will come about a state, two different states, three different states. First state which came to my mind was, of course, what Mr. Basant Sathe, the then cultural affairs minister, he was distributing Sahitya Academy awards in Bhubaneswar. I attended that. When Mr. Onkar Singh may kindly forgive me. So when the term of Punjabi author came, he just jokingly said, Punjabi and literature, I never thought they go together. That, of course, in a good spirit. Then second one, I said, I thought of a place. If Mr. Sinha only forgives me, can I? From your state only. I said, there is a place which is known as Bihar Sharif. So he said, Bihar and Sharif. So that's the thing. Then one Mr. Ram Nivas was there, 1985 batch. He said, sir, there is another thing. I come from Haryana. And don't forget that there is a cultural affairs department also. Haryana culture. He said two different things. So like that. So this oxymoron, when this Rajasthan forest came, Rajasthan and forest, they don't come together. So, but then there is a forest department in Rajasthan, of course. And he came from that state, but developing a love for the forest instead of sand. That here, where there is abundant forest, the bureaucrats want to make them sand. And here is a man from sand who has come, who wants to build a forest out of the sand. His love for the forest is immense. Fantastic. The way he has written, projected his love about the forest. Then one day, while doing this manuscript reading, I suggested Mr. Bhanja that there is a book, if you can, I read it in Bengali, but it is a book, one of the most unique books ever written, where there is no principal protagonist. Forest is the main protagonist there. In the background of the forest, and forest as the hero of the novel. That is Aranyak by Vibhuti Bhushan Banerjee. So one of the greatest books I have ever read, making forest as the background and forest as the hero. So he immediately, I think you have brought that book from Amazon, English translation of Aranyak. I suggest that most of the people should read that. That was the time, that was in 1930s, 1936, 37, I think the book was written. And that was the part of Gaya and Bhagalpur district, Purnia district border. So there the forests were being destroyed. So a person is trying to protect the forest. Person who is from Calcutta city, he was, as a punishment, he was sent there. And he fell in love with the forest. He never wanted to come out of that place, wanted to protect the forest. At that time, they were destroying the forest and creating the patta lands out of it. So that's that. So Mr. Sharma not only has shown the extraordinary love for the forest, but one more thing, interesting thing I want to narrate here, that he is about his own marriage. He has written that when the cadre was allotted, then his would-be father-in-law said, no way my daughter is going to marry him. He said, कहाँ है, where is that Andhra Pradesh, मैं जानता नहीं हूँ, और that क्या भाषा में बात करते हैं. Then it was so much so, if this thing, the threat was carried out, you could be seeing a different Mrs. Sharma today. So, but same thing continued by good sense, what prevailed on the elders, the marriage went through. Then his father-in-law had the immense courage of traveling alone to Karimnagar. I think Karimnagar, did he come? Alone. And he was speaking something, then conductor was replying in some other language. She said they were communicating, by body language they were communicating, but the correct amount of money was paid, correct destination was narrated, and everything happened. So then after that is a happy life and things, successful marriage. Of course, then which we wish that it should continue like that. Marriages are made in heaven. Here, because it was made in heaven, that's why Andhra Pradesh and Rajasthan could come together.
But they are not
It is not. Rajasthan forest is oxymoron. Rajasthan forest. Ranthambore, yeah, I have seen. I have gone to Ranthambore. You are now telling about that diesel. No, no, no. No, no, no. I know that. I have read a lot of Punjabi literature. Rajinder Singh Bedi and all that. I have read. No, no, no. At that time, Vasant Sir said, I am not saying that. Vasant Sir said. Late Mr. Vasant Sir. No, no, I am not saying that. So how dare I speak like that? So then second thing, that the book contains lot of details. And about the analysis, about his personal experience, his sighting of the tiger is a very great, very good experience. And his encounter with the Naxalites, it is very good experience, very well narrated. All these things are very interesting. And he has put on his languages straight, forward, hard-hitting, terse, and hits you straight away like bullets. And imprints, puts a mark there, the bullet which can't be extracted out of it. It remains there. And sometimes when the persons are hit by a bullet, surgeons raise their hands. It's not going to do any damage to the body, let it be there. So the bullet is lost there. So it is well written, very, very, very well written book. I must congratulate him for that. And the publication also, Madam Supriya Balerauji, she has done a very decent job, excellent job. Book looks very good. And also the AI, whosoever credit it goes, at the AI also, sometimes some input, the person who gives the input also is bad. He should be talented. I know. He was narrating. Then finally, as I have found, that he has lamented that forests are not being protected properly, which is true. And people, especially powerful bureaucrats, powerful politicians, they don't like forests within the city. So you must be knowing recent happenings. KBR Park is an eyesore for many politicians. Properties worth thousands of crores are sitting in the heart of the city. How does it happen? Why should it happen? Then now they are planning some tunnel for diversion of this thing. Somebody said, no, animals will be disturbed. Then politicians' argument is, we have given them habitat, that's all. They should be happy with that. Why should they feel about disturbance and all those things? Let them be there. Let them not increase their own numbers. So I told a friend that amongst thieves, the worst kind of thieves are, जिसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं सेंध लगाना. So now they want to put a send there, tunnel, below the ground and steal that land later on. One day the tunnel will collapse because of the excellent workmanship and the land will be occupied. KBR Park won't be there anymore. Maybe during my lifetime, sometime in future. So the people, forest department, those who are supposed to be the rakshaks, they are becoming the bhakshaks of the forest. Finally, I would like to say that as I found towards the end, he has given a lot of instructions, lot of experiences, lot of suggestions, which is like a manual for the future guidance for the young officers who can follow them and do something, because forest is no more a department. It is a future of the world, future of the earth, future of the country. So he has given his own experiences. I found little sadness in the tone when he ends the book. So I remembered a film song, which is very fond of. I'll come back to that again, which I'm very fond of. Kar chale hum fida janotan साथियों. अब आपके नहीं, मैं आपके हवाले वतन साथियों, forest साथियों. So Sharma ji, of course, my acquaintance with him is not very long-standing. He had the training in the same district where I was collector, but my successor, Mr. Goel, when he came, he was there. Then later on, somehow, it happened that we never met. So accidentally met during a music program, melody program, which he does in Prasashan Nagar. So there, it was a season like this, starting of the monsoon season. So he started, the theme was monsoon or rain or something. Then he started his initial song, opening song, he sang himself. He's a good singer, very good singer. And he sang that dum dum diga diga, mausam bhiga bhiga. With that it started. I think. Then finally, I would like to say that forest, once upon a time, was not a very desirable thing. Those who wanted to be cut off from the society, they used to go to the forest, or banished to the forest. Like Pandavas were banished to the forest. Sri Ramji was banished to the forest in the sense because his father made an oath, made a vow. So that's what he had to keep his father's promise intact. So he had to go. So when I was in the college, in our college, we made a parody of that portion that Sri Ramji is living Ayodhya. And Lakshmanji was, moment he saw the heavy baggage there, he was grumbling. Then Sitaji also was not very happy. He said that he had to wander in the sea, had to wander in the forests. And kya hai, life mein kya hai? Then Lakshmanji was thinking, Arey kya, my father was not a good king. He could have told to CF at least to send one or two bearers who could carry the luggage to the destination. Then Madam Sita used to think that probably there is a forest rest house, and our forest rest house is excellent. Our forest rest house. Chandan Mitra was telling me, Orissa forest rest house is a very coveted place. It's good, very good cooks, excellent food. During my training days also, I had very good food during for 2 days training in the forest. So then both of them found the subjects have gathered and they are singing together, a chorus. So, but slightly modified. The original song is "O जाने वाले हो सके तो लौट के आना." So ये गा रहे हैं "O जाने वाले हो सके तो लौट के आना." तो उसको जाना ही पड़ेगा. So that's why with a heavy heart they left Ayodhya and wandered in the forest, and rest of the things is all history or mythology, whatever it is. So coming back, this particular book is going to a milestone. As everybody has wished that he should bring out a sequel. I don't know. Sequel is not always desirable also. Like Durandhar 1, 2, 3, 4. So like that, they are always not as good as the original. So if he feels confident, willing, and he can make it as interesting as it is in the original, the first one, then he can go ahead with that. Not with too many details. Now he should come back to personal experiences, personalities, and with we can see we have got a lot of models in the bureaucracy. So then I am writing a book actually, some short stories, mostly modeled on the bureaucrats. 25 of them I have selected. No, 25 of them said. Then I suggested a person, what name I should give. He said, sir, you have written about many characters who are like, some people are like gods, some people are like very bad people, basically bad people. Some people like normal human beings, but with some angularities. So you can give it, put an alliterative way of men, monkeys, and monsters. I said, it will be too bad. Who are people who will identify the monkeys first? Then I said, no, I won't give that name. I will think about it, what name can be given. So I wish all success to Mr. Sharma, commercial success, and readers' opinion, more positive opinions, more of encouragement from the seniors, more of the appreciation from the juniors, and a good word. Sir, what you have written, I have treated it as a writing from Bible. That kind of appreciation should come to him, which is in a way, yes, it is true, that is a gospel truth, what he has written. And such kind of things should be carried out, at least should be an eye-opener to the insensitive governments and insensitive bureaucrats. Forests should be protected for the good of earth. Because as you know, recently, amongst 10 hottest cities of the world, India has the proud distinction of having 7 out of 10. So such kind of future is waiting for us, bad future. So we have to protect the earth, protect our country, and with encouragement being given for having more children, 30,000 rupees, 40,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees. If he has got 10 children, he will get 1 lakh rupees. Like that, incentives are begun with so many people around. How the forest will be retained, God only knows how the forest animals will protect themselves. But in spite of all that, the forests have to be protected. I'm sorry I have taken a lot of your time, and I didn't want to say so many things, but I couldn't control myself because I was a bit intimately associated with the formation of this book. I feel proud, personally feel proud, that my suggestion is there on the cover page itself. And many places where I had given suggestions, he has faithfully carried out. And so many thanks to him. And anytime my services are required, I am always there to help him. Thank you very much for giving me a pleasant hearing.
शर्मा जी, अभी आपकी बारी है. आप आइए. वही बोले, गोयल जी बोले हैं.
chief guest of the evening, Shri Priyadashi Das Sahab, all the dignitaries on the dais, starting from Sri Madhukar Raj ji, Dr. Margaret Francis, A.K. Goyal Sahab, Bhale Rao Sahab, and P.P. Acharya ji, and the galaxy of bureaucrats and officers sitting in the audience. Yeah. Raman Peter, my good friend, Sinha Sahab, B.S.S. Reddy ji, Narpa Singh Sahab, my first guru and DFO, Rajesh Mittal Sahab, my Khwaja Sahab, the second tenure, my collector in Khammam district, and of course, Goyal Sahab was that I had the good fortune of working with him twice. First as probationer and second time as DFO Kagaz when he was collector Adilabad. Biswal Sahab, Bhanja ji, Munindra, S.K. Joshi ji, Rajiv Trivedi ji, and Ratan Sahab is there or left, V.K. Singh ji, Chandan Mitra, and all the ladies and gentlemen, and last but not the least, my younger brother Devendra Shastri ji, my nephew Ganesh Tewari ji, and my classmate from the BS MSc, Dr. Usha Jain, and her husband Kothari ji, and all the ladies and gentlemen, all the ladies. And of course, Supriya Bhale Rao ji, our publisher and guide everywhere. आज ये नाम सब मालूम है, ये सबको मालूम है, सबने बता दिया. Okay, my better half Sadhana ji, and my daughter-in-law, Vipralobdha Rai Chaudhary, Urf Raisha Vyas, and my youngest generation, third generation granddaughter, Vedika. And Vedika's Nanaji and Naniji, and all ladies and gentlemen, I am extremely happy and delighted to find all of you here among us. I forgot the names of Omkar Singh Sahab and R.P. Singh Sahab. I am grateful to all of you that you could make it to this evening and make my day really, really great. As you know, Forest Service, somebody said, why did you join Forest Service? In fact, this question was also asked to me in my interview for the Forest Service. I said, to begin with, I love forest. And he stopped there only. I said, he'll ask, how do you love forest? I had so many things to say, but I never got the chance. And because of that, I got very poor marks in my interview. Had I been given the opportunity to say why exactly I joined this service, my rank was 34th, I would have been the first 10. And Rajasthan cadre still would have eluded me because only 2 vacancies were there in Rajasthan. Naturally, one went for outsider, one for the insider. And insider, unfortunately, went to the ST candidate. So even if I was topper, yeah, I would not, this particular part I have not written in the book. So, yes. That's the destiny. So, man proposes, God disposes. That's how I landed in Andhra Pradesh. In fact, this chapter is there. My father-in-law, in fact, none of my colleagues were happy that you are going so far away. But having come to Andhra Pradesh, I realized that I have come to a very good state. Why? Yeah, he was not very happy, but he became happy subsequently. Now, my sincere desire, why I wanted to say, in fact, I considered all services. Like I wanted to join only the All India service. So there were 3, IAS, IPS and IFS. We kept all the other central services out of our purview, out of consideration. Then say, why IAS only? So then we said, IAS, you get a chance to work as collector only for a period of 1.5 years or 2 years or maximum 3 years. Then you are going to the secretariat. So, that's not my cup of tea. Then coming to the police service, you have to deal with the criminals and all types of things which are not desirable, though it's required to be done. But again, it was not our cup of tea. And third thing was that, say, initially, father wanted me to be a doctor, then he said, you become a civil servant, IAS only was in the view. But when I was studying in MSc, Usha Jain was also there, myself and to another friend of mine, Dharmendra Shukla. We used to discuss about all these career prospects and what should be our ultimate objective. Then we saw two films. One was about the Israel, how Israel recouped land from the sea. Then second was about China, how China has increased their tree cover, forest cover. They have saved as well as increased. So this impressed us a lot. Then because I come from Rajasthan, almost 1/3 of Rajasthan, western part, is desert. And I used to read a lot of news items that this desert is marching eastwards. And there used to be a cry for that, how to halt the march of desert. So, which service will be giving this chance to us? So I thought I must join this service. This is like forest department is the only department which does this kind of job. And forest service is the only service which will be giving you this opportunity of halting the march of the desert. So we both decided, we will not write for the civil services, that IAS and IPS. Our aspiration was only for the forest service. And that's how we wrote for the service. In fact, once I went through the detailed guidelines, I found that this myopia was exceeding -4. One was -4, but one was -4.5. And the guidelines say that if your myopia exceeds -4, you are not eligible for the forest service. So my heart sank. I will not be able to join this service. Then another classmate of mine, he wrote this service. He got into IFS. Then he told me, how did you? I knew that his myopia was much more, almost -7 and -7.5. Then if you could get into the forest service, then what's the magic? What's the trick? Then he told me that if you go to ophthalmologist and check up, if myopia is neither pathological nor progressive, then you will be selected. But there is a long procedure you have to undergo. You will be rejected first. Then you have to go on for appeal. Then a special medical board will be constituted, and they will examine you, and they will finally find that you are fit for the service. So I went through all that thing and ultimately got into forest service. So myself and my other friend, Dharmendra Shukla, we both got into the forest service. So that's how we landed in. Then, of course, that was another big question, that which cadre we will be getting. So normally, first preference was home state only, Rajasthan. Then, say, with our batch, they started taking the options. It was not there earlier. It used to be only by lottery. And they gave us a form. They said, and the entire country was divided into 5 zones. So you give zonal preference, and in each zone you give first and second option. So we gave. So I thought twice, we never had this idea. Nobody could guide us also how to give the option. So, of course, first was Rajasthan and Gujarat. Second, Kashmir, heaven of the earth. So Kashmir and UP, this is Himachal Pradesh. Then third, we say MP and UP. Then fourth, Andhra Pradesh, and then Karnataka. And last, West Bengal and Northeast. And to our misfortune, the UPSC or DOPT decided that if you are not getting the state of your first choice of first zone, they will straight away go to the first state of the second zone, ignoring the second choice. So, had they done systematically, if I was not getting Rajasthan, I should have been given Gujarat. But that didn't happen. This happened from our junior batch. Our junior batch were lucky in that way, that if you are not getting their own first choice of the first zone, they were allotted to the second zone if it was available. So that's how, Rajasthan, Gujarat gone, Jammu Kashmir also gone, only one vacancy. Then UP and MP. I wrote UP first and then MP. So UP also I didn't get it. Had I written MP, I would have got MP. Had I written Gujarat first, I would have Gujarat. So, they just straight away jumped to the fourth zone, first choice, Andhra Pradesh. So that's how I landed in Andhra Pradesh. So Andhra Pradesh is, when I came here, I found it's a beautiful forested area, and Adilabad was very good, so I was damn happy. I need not a forest or stop the deforestation. There is no desert here. So it gave me immense pleasure. I enjoyed my working in the Andhra Pradesh and the later part of Telangana very well. All that thing is written in this book. This is, as all the reviewer has said, that I have given nothing but truth. And this may help many of the youngsters to take a call upon their career choice, as well as those who are in service. It will reaffirm their faith that they can do something to stop the destruction of forests, stop the destruction of the environment. Because people keep on talking about climate change and biodiversity loss, all that thing is happening. But what needs to be done at the ground level? Here I found that there is absolutely no support from the government side. Though our target is to have 33% of the land area under forest cover. But it is going on, coming down. And the financial support is, if you talk, only 0.7% of the national or state government budgets, except maybe Maharashtra, the MP in Chhattisgarh, they give 2 to 3%. Rest of the country, same story. So, no financial support, no political support, and people probably don't know the full story, and they keep blaming the forest department. But forest departments are poorly equipped. Even manpower is not sufficient. So, under these circumstances, it's almost impossible to even save whatever is remaining forest. So, my sincere hope and wish is that at least this goes to the younger generation. They will be made aware of these facts, and they may probably apply pressure on the governments that they do the required thing to save the remaining forests. Otherwise, our own survival will not be there. So I'll not take much time. I wish to thank everybody here that all of you have come and graced me and blessed me and my work. And it's not my work only. It's not my experience. It is the experience of each and every forest officer, whether he's a forest guard or PCCF. It belongs to everybody, every one of them. And I have learned from everyone, starting from the forest guard to forester to the range officers to the SF officers to the senior officers and retired officers. So there is no end to the learning. So this is compilation of the composite learning of all the forest officers, especially of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, because my experience by and large belongs to this state only. So I can say for this particular state, but I know that more or less this is the situation throughout the country, and this needs to be taken care of. Remedial measures have to be taken off. Otherwise, as you know, if forests do not survive, we will not also be there. So our survival is linked to the survival of the forest. Thank you once again, all the ladies and gentlemen, all the people. I'm really delighted, and I'm extremely happy that all of you have come here and graced this occasion and blessed me. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Sharma ji, do continue to have your advocacy for protection of forests, whatever we are left with, despite the fact that we are losing our forest cover. I think there will be a number of other people who would like to speak, but I think we have been having quite a long session. So I think all good things must definitely come to an end. May I ask Neha Vyas to come and propose a small vote of thanks? Neha Vyas. Are you sure you are Neha? वही बताया कि यही दो
थोड़ा प्रॉड करना पड़ता है.
आपने सर बोला था कि मैं बोलूंगा. नहीं, इसलिए you can't go back on your promise. Yes, please, sir.
Vote of thanks.
Collector will give vote of thanks.
Paresh Kumar Sharma. 42 years ago, he reported to the collector Adilabad. I saw him then. Face is constant, no change. I also saw Sadhana. Sadhana ji, where are you? Yes. Only thing I would say, Sadhana has gone younger and he has become wiser. I thank both of them to have put the joint effort to bring out this great book. Indeed, his footprints in the forest from the day one till now he retired might be forgotten. But what he has put between the covers of this book will remain forever. Paresh Bhai, you might have written first book, but let me say, it's not the last book. You will write second book. Don't forget to invite all of us again. Yes. All the advisory given by senior officers, he will carry it out in second book. He won't stop now. The journey in the service is over the day you superannuate, but the journey through the books, it's never over. I can tell you that. Mr. Luther told me 15 years ago when I gave him the first book, he said, Goel, you won't stop now. I said, no, sir, enough is enough. Well, no, nothing is enough. 15 years down the line, journey continues. I see Madam Supriya. I should thank you also. 15 years ago, I met her for the first time as a publisher, and again I am seeing her. You are also the same, nothing changes. You went to hospital and came back, but that's what it is. Maintain your energy to publish more and more books. I see very senior officers on the dais. I mean, let me start with Das Shah. He was my successor. So, sorry. How can I be senior too? My senior in Adilabad. Bhale Rao, I call him Bhola Bhala Rao. So he's a Bhola Bhala Rao. BP Acharya, I call him a Paramacharya. Wisdom drips from every word he speaks. But I think that's a problem with officer from Orissa. They have per capita very high level of wisdom. So I think I thank him. Madhukar Raj met me when I was sub-collector grade 1 in Narsapuram. Long ago, old age, but memories are intact. R.P. Singh Saab, you are forgetting me? Yes. R.P. Singh Saab forgot the Annapurna and the service you did to the ACUT in Kadapa. I remember that. Mittal Bhai, you constructed the houses for the weaker sections. We remember that. Khwaza Bhai, nobody can speak better Urdu than Khwaza on this side of Suez. I mean, that's what Khwaza is. Then we have our Kalinga man, Biswal, great friend. I like him. The friend from Bihar who always predicts, he has predicted something for the future political development in Telangana. I will not tell you that now, I'll tell you at the tea time. Joshi Bhai, the chief, I remember him. The galaxy on the dais and galaxy before the dais. Sinha Saab, Peter Bhai, all these galaxy and their better halves on the right-hand side. I do not know them personally, but I'm sure that they're equally great. I thank each one of you, all of you. Please bless Paresh, not for this book, that you have done. Bless him to write one more book, okay? All the very best. Thank you very much.
All right. Good evening, everyone. It is great to see all of you all here. And as we come to the end of this event, I would like to thank all of you all here. Respected Chief Guest Sri Priyadarshi Das ji, Uncle, distinguished guest on dais, and all the esteemed members here present here. As we come to the end, it is my pleasant privilege to thank one and all of you all here for being present and providing all your support. And on behalf of my father and the author, Sri P.K. Sharma ji, it is my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to all of you all, and to be present at the releasing of this book. And I also extend my thanks to distinguished guest of honor speakers, Sri Madhukar Raji Uncle, Sripad Bhalerao Uncle, Margaret Ma'am, Goyal Uncle, right? And VP Acharya ji Uncle. And also heartfelt thanks to Raymond Peter Uncle for being here and doing all and being very supportive in everything that has been there here. And a special word of appreciation goes to Mrs. Supriya Balerao Aunty for all the dedication and support, and for being there as an editor, publisher, for always constantly being there as a wall of support for all of us and for Dad especially. So we hope that Footprints in Forest will inspire, again, all of us, young officers, students, and, conservationists, those who believe in public services, integrity, and protection of nature. And finally, all of you all, thank you again for being a part of this. It is, right, thank you. It is a great heartfelt thank you from me and my family as well, for all of you all for your presence. Also, snacks and high tea is ready, so please go ahead with that. And thank you so much.